Well, Stuart, after a good exercise at Alfreton on Tuesday, we came here to Loughborough University and a 1-0 win over Wycombe Wanderers. What do you think of the run out?
Look, the tempo of the game was excellent for our second pre-season game. We knew it would. Wycombe are a team that play at high tempo, so we knew it would be a real test. We had mixed teams again, as you saw, but look, it was excellent. It was a really good high standard game, and the clean sheet is one of those things that we said we want to focus on, and it is a clean sheet.
Bit tighter in the second half, but in the first half, Kellen Gordon was supplying plenty of dangerous crosses from the right. Alessandro Jatta was an unbelievable threat for that first period, and Junior could have got a goal as well.
No, definitely. That's what was so pleasing, how solid we looked at the back, but in the final third we looked such a threat. I think if you had come away from the game at half time, potentially it could have been 3-1. Lou Macari makes an unbelievable block where he reads it, which is brilliant as well. It's great defending. It's something that we've been working on, is narrow, defend the goal narrow and get inside the goal, and he's taken all the info on, and that's what stops a goal. But look, there's so many pluses. Like, Gordon's hardly trained. He's had one session with us, he's come in, and I think he's probably crossed the ball 6 or 7 times, and not just crossed it, they're kind of on the money. Like, AJ could have had one with his head, like you say, Junior could have had one at the back post. It was one of those awkward sizes, do you head it, do you volley it, and it kind of hit him around waist height, and the goalie made a good save from it. But look, lots of positives, and we've come away with no injuries, and that's one of the biggest thing in pre-season. As much as when we did the interview probably over a week ago, and we said that we want to try and go unbeaten and set that mentality, that winning mentality within pre-season, is so key that we don't pick up injuries.
No fresh injuries today, but a few missing, so let's go through those so the fans are aware of what the latest is. Aaron Maynard obviously played at Alfreton but wasn't here today.
Yeah, just a niggle. There's nothing worth risking. Like, when you're in pre-season, when we pick up little niggles, we need to protect people in pre-season until we get to the back end, when it's very key, so we just don't want to risk anything.
Yeah. Nick Cerula, we haven't seen him yet.
He's getting there. He had a bit of a kind of tendonitis on his knee. It's just a hard ground, so it's the same again. We're just being very cautious. He potentially could be on the field again, but there's no point risking it. We've just got to build him back in slowly. There's lots of time left within pre-season to get him minutes, so yeah, he's coming along nicely.
Saw Sammy Austin champing at the bit on the sidelines today. What's the latest with him?
He joined in fully on Friday. It's just so good to have him back. He's an infectious character. He does everything you want, and like, he can't wait to get back. We're having to kind of hold him back a little bit, but he trained fully on Friday, and we're hoping Willstone, if we have no reaction over the weekend, we'll get him some minutes.
Scott Robertson?
He's getting closer, very much closer, and this is the pleasing thing. If you look at the two halves of teams that we put out with what we've got to come back, and that's what we're talking about, that real depth now in what we need, and having the likes of Sammy and Robbo coming back into the group is exciting.
Yeah. What about Matty Palmer?
I think everyone is so excited just to see him step across the white line and actually play minutes again, and he's getting there. He's the same again. Craig, us as a management team, we've got to keep reining him back. He's part training a lot now with the group. Anything with no contact, he's back in, and yeah, we can't wait to get him back. He's been brilliant about the place. It's been a long journey for him, and the one thing with him, with his mentality, he stayed so positive the whole way through. When you have these long-term injuries, it's so hard. You go through different stages where you can get down, and he can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel now, and he's raring to go and cannot wait.
You referenced the interview that we did shortly before pre-season started and some of the topics we covered, and one of them was squad depth, and we'll talk a bit more about Kellen Gordon in that regard, I think, because in Aaron Nemain you have certainly one of the best wing-backs in the division, surely, but you've just added another who's just won promotion with Crawley. Yeah,
definitely. Look, we need to have competition for places this year. We saw last season when we come in and around January that we had a lot of injuries, and it really does affect it. We need to make sure that we can have people that can come off the bench and have an impact, and we need to make sure that at different periods, because there's busy periods within the season where we go Saturday, Wednesday, we need to be able to rotate and make sure we're fresh, because we want to make sure that we're a high pressing team at the top end of the pitch, and if we want that, we need to make sure bodies are fresh. We can't keep putting the same 11 out, and if we want to have success this year, it's not the starting 11, it's the whole squad. We all need to be in it together, and everyone will play their part.
Busy week ahead. Back to Wealdstone on Tuesday, then off to Germany. Will you be looking for anything different in the friendlies that we're going to be playing next week? Will we see maybe players playing a few more minutes per game?
Yeah, there'll be a few more minutes now. We're starting to build up to 60-30s now, so one group will get 60 and the other group will get 30, and then when we get to Holland, it'll be the same again. One group will get 60 and one will get 30, so we're slowly building the minutes up, which is really good, and everyone's coming through them with no niggles and stuff, which is really positive.
So generally feeling pretty happy at this stage?
Yeah, really happy. The group's starting to gel. It doesn't happen overnight. We've got a new group, and like we said, 70% of the new group's at the back where we build from and where we want to dominate the ball. So we've got to make sure it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. We've just got to be a bit patient with the process and believe in it, and that's what they're doing. And you've seen it from Atherton the other night to today. There's a big improvement, and you can see that in the group, and that's what's so pleasing.